Greetings, people, and welcome to Good Evening Nigeria. The 2023 presidential election here in Nigeria is still trickling in. About 14 states have been administered already by the chairman of the INEC, Mahmood Yakubu, here in Abuja. And I equally heard that about 28 states has been concluded at the state level, waiting to be administered here in Abuja. And of course, the presidential candidate of the APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is still leading with about 1.5 million votes. But however, a lot of prominent Nigerians have been inciting the youth because their preferred candidate is losing. I think this is a sad situation here in Nigeria, considering the fact that politics is a game of numbers and not emotions or sentiment. Whosoever emerges in this election deserves to be crowned the next president of Nigeria. I don't care whatever you think about the person, because someone can just labor and invest so much into an election only for him to win, and you start inciting Nigerians against him because you don't like him. You don't need to like him. And the worst part of it is Obasanjo calling for the cancellation of that result. Personally, I don't know where Obasanjo got that moral right from to call for the cancellation of the result. It has never been done in the history of the world. And besides, Obasanjo presided over the most corrupt and fraudulent election in the history of this world. In 2007, after his third term agenda failed, he imposed what is it called, Yaradua on Nigerians fraudulently. And Yaradua had said after the election that the election that returned him as the president of Nigeria was the most fraudulent in the history of the country. And that was why Yaradua set up a committee in 2007 to work out an electoral reform for Nigeria. So the whole electoral reform we are seeing today, talking about beavers and everything, was what Yaradua started because of what Obasanjo did in 2007. So where is his moral right to call for cancellation of an election someone is already winning? And besides, do we know the cost implication of canceling an election? Do you know how many billions of naira, the time and energy both candidates and INEC have spent on this election that you are calling for a cancellation? I think it's a sad situation. Such statement should emanate from an elder statesman. What I would have wanted to hear from him is to call the Independent and National Electoral Commission's chairman to halt the collation of the result and work on the server first. After the server is working, then he can continue, not calling for cancellation of result. And funny enough, the Buhari who was a victim of his electoral malpractices and robbery in 2003 and 2007 is the same president he's now calling now to cancel election. You see, we are all hypocrites in this country, just like none of us wants to be a victim. Anyway, I'll keep my fingers crossed as the 2023 presidential election